I have a problem with time, not keeping it, measuring it, especially when it comes to guitar strings. Most guitarists change strings like they change underwear. Weekly if they're civilized, monthly if they're honest about their hygiene. Me? I'm obsessive, neurotic even. 3 weeks max and I'm reaching for fresh steel and bronze like a junkie reaching for a fix. Something happened that made me think about strings, time, and the stories we tell ourselves.
So string it down!
6 months ago, Dario sent me these XS phosphor bond strings, coated strings. I hate coated strings, hated them. They feel wrong, I thought, sound muffled, like wearing gloves to feel silk. But I made a promise to myself years ago when I started this channel. Try everything once, judge nothing until you've lived with it for a while. And so I put them on this Faith Parlor. This is the guitar I write on, the guitar I use at home. If these strings were gonna lie to me, this guitar would let me know. So you see, this is what they sound like now, after everything they've gone through. But let me tell you the story of what they've had to endure. The first month I was cautious, skeptical. New strings always sound good. It's like the first week of a relationship. Everything's perfect because you haven't discovered the flaws yet. A lot of practice in that first month, and one of the things I always do is play with open tunings, alternative tunings, the kind of stuff that usually is a torture test for your strings. But even then, they surprised me. They held the tuning perfectly, the same if not better than any other brand that I've ever tried. Stable, reliable, built for the long haul. Month 2 though is when the doubt creeps in. Not about the strings, but about myself. About whether I was hearing what I wanted to hear instead of what was actually there. Recording quite a bit that month, very long days. The kind of playing that usually leaves strings sounding like they've been through a war. I'll be honest, I kind of expected them to fail. Give me an excuse to change them. But actually, look at them now. Minimal wear, minimal corrosion. After all that they've been through. No dead spots, no false harmonics, it still stays in tune. Unlike most of us, they're actually aging damn well. Month 3 brought the sad season. Cold, humidity, rain, temperature changes indoors, the kind of conditions that normally turn these strings into scrap metal. Different shows, different climates, indoors, outdoors. I kept waiting for them to surrender. Just give up and prove to me that my old habits were actually right. Instead, it's almost like they were made for being punished, or just that they understand something about endurance that I was missing. Month 4, I think it was the acceptance. Up to 6 hours playing daily, different playing styles, gentle finger picking 1 minute, aggressive strumming the other. By month 4, I kind of had stopped thinking about changing them. It just escaped my mind completely. And I didn't have that kind of obsessive feeling that I needed to change them because they sounded worse. Month 5 brought studio work for this channel. The kind of critical listening where every flaw is magnified, every imperfection is very quickly exposed. Multiple styles of music, blues, country, fingerstyle, each style demanding something different. 5 months in, they weren't just surviving, they were thriving, maybe even getting better with age. This is what 6 months sounds like. 6 months of practice, recording, playing, throwing the guitar around. 6 months of my life lived through these strings. I mean, can you guys hear the difference? I'm really struggling to. If anything, they just sound more mature, but not in a bad way. Let me show you what month 6 of real-world use looks like on a string that refuses to die. Look at the windings, minimal wear. The coating seems to be still intact. I can't see any corrosion where my fingers have been, and definitely no dead spots either. Harmonics ring true and loud. Bending stability, they return to pitch, which is the ultimate test. Even the percussive response, which often just goes downhill, is sharp and refined. I feel very uncomfortable with this because it kind of changes the whole paradigm of the relationship between strings, time, and quality. You know, I think we live in a culture obsessed with the new gear, new sounds, new everything. We convinced ourselves that fresh equals better, that age equals decay. What if just some things get better with age? We know that it happens in other areas. What if endurance is its own sign of excellence? In many areas of our lives, we look for that age and we pay a premium for that age. This guitar here, which I absolutely love, is from 1978. It doesn't sound like it did when it was first made. It sounds better, richer, more complex. This other fuzz pedal is from the late 60s. Maybe it's snake oil, but I think that you can hear the difference in age, even with electronics. It's almost like it incorporated the character of a lot of the tunes that were played on it. So I guess the funny thing about these strings is that in a similar way, they've evolved, they've learned, they've incorporated the sound, they've become an integral part of the actual guitar. Now, just because we live in a funny world, I want to make it clear that this isn't a commercial. I've honestly tried every brand of string on this acoustic guitar. Coated, uncoated, phosphor bronze, you name it, I've tried it. Just because I think it's always important to search for that ideal sound, and sometimes some things will fit better than others. There's no doubt that all strings die eventually, some quicker, some slower. But what I found with these ones is that firstly, you don't compromise on anything initially, whether sound or feel. And secondly, they die so slowly and gracefully that you probably won't even notice. Now, I don't know what the current market price of these is. Are they more expensive? Yes, they are. I believe they're around 15 bucks. So a regular set, $6. You do the maths. But taking into account the lifespan, that changes everything, doesn't it? It's kind of that old saying, math doesn't lie, even if our habits do. As I said before, this is what 6 months sound like. 6 months of practice, performance, recording, 6 months of life lived through these strings. Six months and counting. I guess it's teaching me what it means for something to endure. In a world that throws everything away, sometimes the most radical act is simply keeping something and letting it age, letting it be.